Hello everyone! This next game was played between two geniuses, and the genius with the black pieces is Dr. Gregory House, and the genius with the white pieces is young Nate, who is dying of liver failure. And the entire game wasn't shown on the show, it had to be recreated, so some of the moves don't really make sense, but it's the winning combination that matters. So we have f4 by young Nate, and as soon as he plays this, Dr. House replies, "Oh, the bird opening, sign of a coward." And House plays c5, and although this isn't really a Sicilian defense, young Nate replies, "Oh, a Sicilian defense, a sign of an idiot." And they continue, knight f3, d5, this is the Dutch variation of the bird opening, e3, knight to f6, b3, e6, bishop to a3, bishop to d6, bishop to b5 check, knight to c6, knight to c3, house castles, and here we have rook to b1, which is kind of a weird move, but whoever composed this game probably had to make this rook on b1 so the winning combination would work. So we have e5 by Dr. House, f captures on e5, knight captures on e5, and now bishop to e2. And Dr. House plays knight to e4, now hanging this d5 pawn, because he has a winning combination. We have knight captures on d5, and now House plays knight captures on f3 with check. We have bishop captures on f3, if g captures on f3, then queen h4 is instant checkmate. After king f1, queen to f2 is checkmate. So after knight captures on f3, Nate plays bishop captures on f3, and now Dr. House plays queen to h4 with check. So if the king goes to e2, then queen to f2 brings the king up the board, so g3. And House sacrificed the bishop. Bishop captures on g3, h captures on g3, and now queen captures on g3 with check. So the king now has to go to e2. And here Dr. House plays knight to g5. And House says that he's winning, but young Nate replies that, he plays queen to f1 and says that House is losing. And he tells House the winning combination all the way to checkmate. And it's at this moment before House makes his next move that young Nate goes into a seizure. And they take young Nate away, and after you see a scene where Dr. House is, repeating the moves on the board that young Nate has told him previously. And it goes like this: knight captures on f3, queen captures on f3, and now Dr. House would play bishop to g4, now pinning the queen. And it seems like Dr. House won the game. But young Nate has a surprise here. He has knight to e7, a very famous mating pattern. We have king to h8, and now rook captures on h7 with check. So only move is king captures on h7, and now rook to h1. And this knight is guarding g8 and also g6, so the king has nowhere to go. Black has to block either with the bishop or with the queen, doesn't really matter. After something like a bishop to h5, simply queen captures on h5 is checkmate, or rook captures on h5, doesn't really matter. And yeah, it was a beautiful game, and I was very satisfied that they included some chess in a Dr. House TV series. And I think this was the third season 3, the last episode. And they should have just left it at this, the producers, I mean, but then at the end of the show, when young Nate is all better and is leaving the hospital, Dr. House stops him and he says that in this position, after Nate played queen to f1, the Dr. House wouldn't play knight captures on f3, but that he actually planned queen to d6, and that he's winning the game. But there's really not a lot of sense to this, since House is down a piece and there's really no attack going on anymore. So yeah, they probably just wanted to make House appear smarter than young Nate at the end of the show, which, someone who who tried this move on the board can easily see that it isn't. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this kind of weird game, although let's just leave it at this position because it's much nicer. Okay, let's make that the last position you guys see. And yeah, thank you all for watching. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. And I would like to thank Jaroslav Trucka for your contribution to my channel. I do appreciate it. Thank you a lot. And that's it. I'll see you guys soon.